Good afternoon to everybody. My name is Jagdevappa, Assistant Professor of Psychology, Government First Grade College, Tiptur, Tumkur District, Karnataka. We are discussing about the paper Basic Psychological Process, which is first year BA second sem. Students of Tumkur University, Tumkur. So, we have already discussed in this paper two chapter. We have completed 2 units. Which are motivation. In the motivation, we have discussed meaning and definition of motivation, homeostasis, motivation cycle, types of motivation like physiological motives, hunger, thirst, and social motives, achievement motives, power affiliation motive, etc. etc. And theories of motivation also we have discussed. In the theories of motivation, instinctive theory of McDougall, incentive theories, drive reduction theory of Hull, humanistic theory of Abraham Maslow. In second chapter, we have discussed emotions, meaning and nature of emotion, physiological changes in emotion, psychological during the emotion, types of emotion like positive, negative emotions, which are pleasant and unpleasant emotions like joy, love, affection, anger, fear, grief, etc. etc. Also, theories of emotion we have discussed already. So, we have started unit third, which is sensation, perception, and attention. In this chapter, we have discussed some concept also. Sensation, meaning and process of sensation, steps involved in sensation process, types of senses like eye, ear, tongue, nose, skin, etc. etc. Also, attention. Next concept was the attention, which is meaning and definition of attention we have discussed. What are the types in attention? Already we have discussed. Today's session we are discussing the types of attention, which is first type of attention, involuntary attention. Involuntary attention. So, objective of this session is to understand meaning and types of attention, which is involuntary attention. So, my dear students, so attention, every activity of the individual is based on interest and attention. A teacher can succeed in imparting education only when attention and the interest of the student are directed towards education. With this point in, we shall try to bring out the meaning of the attention and its various characteristics and forms and the factors. And the factors responsible for division of concentration of attention. It is also necessary to establish and study the relationship between attention, interest, perception, sensation, etc., etc. So here, conscience is like a stream. It follows continuously. The stream is composed of sensation, mental experiences, prospections, and attention, etc. Attention is an essential element of the stream. Attention is the attention is the essential element of this stream. So, attention is, or attention in general, is that act of holding the impression or idea in the focus of consciousness. Conscience. Ordinarily, however, the term attention is used for a more protracted mental process. So, older psychologists believed that attention is a mental power but modern psychologists do not accept this theory. They are of the opinion that it is mental activity, not the mental power. Not the mental power, this is the mental activity. So here we are surrounded by environment. Along with environment, we have the conscience. If our conscience is directed towards a particular thing, our attention is concentrated in it. Our attention is concentrated on it. In other words, it is focusing of consciousness on a particular object. For example, in a classroom, there are students, desks, benches, blackboard, teacher, and his words. For a student, it is possible to focus the conscience at only one subject. So, either he shall look at the teacher or look at the words written by him on the blackboard. So, totally, attention can be focused at one place only. So my dear students, some of the process in the attention given by McDougall, which are, so attention is merely cognition or striving considered from the point of view of its effect on cognitive process. Also, other psychologists and educationists have also defined attention as like this. It is means attention is a concentration of consciousness upon one object rather than upon another. It is the essential element in all creative activity. Duhamel state that statement of the Duhamel. So another, the problem of attention centers in the fact of sensible clearness. Tehlenar. Thus, attention is process of getting an object of thought clearly before the mind. Ross. Stout, according to Stout, attention is content, cognition, determined cognition. So these all are the statements of the psychologist, some psychologist and educationist. So here, finally, attention is the behavioral and cognitive process of selective concentrating on a discrete stimulus while going or ignoring other perceivable stimuli. Attention can be thought of as the allocation of limited processing resources. Your brain can only devote attention to a limit number of stimuli. This is the attention. So, and here is the involuntary attention. We want to discuss the types of attention. In the type of attentions, we are discussing about the involuntary attention. So here is that types of attention can be majorly two aspects we are discussing. One is negative, another one is positive. So if our attention is focused on a particular thing, naturally it shifts from another thing. The mental shifting of the attention from particular thing, its negative quality or qualification. Here the mental activities. Attention is necessary to have mental activity. Unless the mind gets active, it is not possible to get our conscience focused on the particular object. In other words, attention is nothing but a form of mental activity. Preparedness. In order to focus conscience on a particular object, the mind has acquired and own the attitude of preparedness. In the words of Woodworth, his primary preparedness is an essential reaction or qualification of attention. So coordination of various activities also there. It is necessary to coordinate it and concentrate our mental attitudes towards a particular thing. When we look at a sight, we concentrate all visual activities towards it. The same type of coordination has to be activated or achieved in focusing our attention on a particular thing. Along with it, there is also the attitude for it. So, attention is cognitive, effective, and cognitive. In fact, all the three aspects of our mental life, knowing, feeling, and willing, are involving in attention. We gain some knowledge by attention. This is cognitive aspect of the attention. In attention, we have some interest. This is the feeling aspect of the attention. We do some activity, and this is the volitional aspect of the educational attention or attention. Attention is purposive or purposeful. We focus we focus our attention on a particular subject only when we are guided by a particular purpose. The more purposeful the object, more the attention we focus on it. Those persons who have no purpose in life are not able to focus their own or attention on anything. Analytic and synthetic attitude also here. In attention, the analytic tendency of the individual is involved. When we look at a stranger, we cast glance at its sight, physique and complexation, features, etc. And that too separately on each aspect of it. Afterwards, we synthesize it and remark that the particular person is handsome or ugly. So, all these are the attention. So, here the types of attention. Types of attention. We are discussing the types of attention. Majorly types of attentions are three: involuntary, voluntary, and habitual attention. What we call types of attention are forms of attention. Attention is generally divided into three types. One is involuntary, second one is voluntary, third one is habitual attention. So here the involuntary attention is more or less passive. It is guided by the quality of the stimulus. If the stimulus has striking qualities, attention shall be stronger. So also voluntary attention is that which is focused on things that in themselves do not have striking qualities. It is more or less an active process. In order to have a sustained voluntary attention, certain struggles have to be gone through. So, some classification of these types of attention by Ross, given by Ross. what we call James Ross has classified the attention into following categories. First one is volitional attention. That attention which is the individual has to make efforts is called volitional attention. In the person has to exercise his interest and willpower in order to focus the attention. It is also of our two types, which are implicit attention and explicit attention. So, implicit attention means that is that in which the individual has to make only ordinary efforts. He does not have to labor a lot. Explicit attention means that in the attention of this type, the individual has to make efforts for so many times. He has to be causes of the time, else attention may shift. These implicit and explicit attention. So another type, second type, non-volitional attention. This is another name of involuntary attention. This is the another name of involuntary attention. Here the individual does not have to make efforts in order to focus his attention on a particular thing. The attention, because of the striking qualities of the stimulus, is riveted to it. It is also of another subtype, two types, which are spontaneous attention, enforced attention. So, spontaneous attention means that which is solely based on instincts due to natural interest of our attention, is focused on particular thing. And enforced attention means that when due to the striking qualities of the stimulus, an individual is forced to concentrate his attention on it. We call it enforced attention. We are not able to forget painful incidents and situations. Now and then our attention is concentrated and they haunt our memory. So another one type, incentives of attention. There are also two types of incentives that influence and guide the attention. First one, our incentives and inner incentives. So, outer incentives are there, inner incentives are there. Outer incentives means that incentives that exist outside the individual and are present in the stimulus are called outer incentives. Generally, they are following some things, some concepts, which are newness, change, intensity. So, newness means here our attention is easily focused on the new things as composed to old ones. It is naturally for novelty to be more interesting than staleness. So, change. Change always attract our attention. If some change take place, our attention is automatically focused on it. If in a room clock ticks of a clock have been heard for a pretty long time, and all of sudden ticks come to stop, our attention shall automatically be focused towards the clock. Intensity of the stimuli or object. If the stimulus of the intense are strong, we are sure to be attracted towards it. When we hear the buzzing sound of an aeroplane, our attention is automatically attracted towards it. A strong stimulus is compared to weak one is more capable of attracting our attention. Attracting our attention. Repetition. If a particular stimulus is repeated again and again, it becomes strong enough to divert and attract our attention. This characteristic is very much seen in use in advertisement. We see that with the help of electric light at particular advertisement is repeated again and again, and our attention is easily focused on it. Mobility, contrast, duration, definite form, inner incentives or subjective incentives or conditions, habit, interest, desire or will, instinct, emotions, past experience, nature and tendencies, objective purpose, training and inclination. These all are the attentions attracting, determining of our attention. So these all are influencing the types of attention. Influencing the type of attention. So my lovely children, so attention is the behavioral and cognitive process of selective concentrating on discrete stimulus while ignoring other perceivable stimulus. Attention can be thought of as the location of limited processing resource. Your brain can only devote attention to limited number of stimuli. So here involuntary attention in this contribution refers to the process of attending that are not elicited by intentions but by certain outside events. The discussion is fully limited to specific process of attending elicited by the devotion of stimulus events from a given context. Involuntary behavior is an action that you can control or do subconsciously without realizing you are doing it. So involuntary attention, involuntary means here, involuntary attention in this contribution refers to the process of attending that are not elicited by intention but can certain outside events. The discussion is fully limited to specific process of attending elicited by the involuntary attention. So my lovely children, here is that the types of attention which is involuntary attention. So involuntary attention is here that finally involuntary attention is very common. The person does not use any effort on his part to attend a stimulus. The attention is induced by something in the environment. there is no attention or desire to attend to it. Yet we cannot help turning our attention to it. It can be a lamp that suddenly lights, or an arousal noise in a adjacent room. We look at the light or strain our hearing in the direction of the source of the noise in order to establish what it is. Children possess this power of involuntary attention to great degree. This is the finally we are discussing about the involuntary attention, which is the first type of attention. So what we have the knowledge about the types or division of types of attention. In the first type, involuntary attention, I have lectured in front of you, before you, what I have my knowledge, best of knowledge. I think you are understood this type of attention. So in Kannada, ಅವಧಾನದ ವಿಧಾನಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಅವಧಾನದ ವಿಧಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ ಅವಧಾನದ ವಿಧಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಮೊದಲನೇದು ನಿರೀಕ್ಷಾವಧಾನ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಲಂಟರಿ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್. ಎರಡನೇದ್ದು ಇಚ್ಛಾ ಅವಧಾನ, ವಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್. ಮೂರನೇದ್ದು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ. ಈ ಮೂರು ಪ್ರಕಾರವಾದಂಥ ಅವಧಾನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷಾವಧಾನ ಅಂದರೆ ಅನಿರೀಕ್ಷಿತವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಗಮನ ನೀಡುವುದು. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ನಿರೀಕ್ಷಾವಧಾನ, ಅನಿರೀಕ್ಷಾದ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ವಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲಸ್ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯಕ್ಕನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನವನ್ನು ಆ ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಹರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಗಮನ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗೆ ಮೀರಿದ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನವನ್ನು ಹರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೋ ಆ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗೆ ಮೀರಿದ್ದಂಥ, ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸುವ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸ್ವಾಭಾವಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಇನ್ವಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ. ನಾವು ವಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ವಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೀಯ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟರಿ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳುತ್ತಿರುವಾಗ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬಾಗಿಲ ಬಳಿ ಬಂದರೆ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಆ ಕಡೆ ತಿರುಗಿ ನೋಡುವುದು. ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನೇ. ರಾತ್ರಿ ಓದುತ್ತಿರುವಾಗ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ ಹೋದರೆ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಕಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸುವುದು ಅಥವಾ ನೋಡುವುದು. ಈ ಮುಂತಾದವುಗಳನ್ನೇ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಇನ್ವಾಲೆಂಟರಿ, ಅನಿರೀಕ್ಷಾವಧಾನ, ಐಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅಂಶಗಳು ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರೋ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಯಾವುವಂದರೆ, ವಸ್ತುಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು, ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು, ವಸ್ತುಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು? ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯ ಸ್ವಭಾವ, ಸ್ಥಳ ಅಥವಾ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶ, ನೂತನತ್ವ, ಹೊಸದು ಅಂತೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ನಾವೆಲ್ಟಿ, ತೀವ್ರತೆ, ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ, ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲಸ್, ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯ ಗಾತ್ರ, ಪುನರಾವರ್ತಿ, ಚೇಂಜ್, ಬದಲಾವಣೆ, ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳಾದರೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಅಂದರೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ, ದೈಹಿಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ, ವಾತ್ಸಲ್ಯ, ಪ್ರೇಮ, ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆ, ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಬಲ, ಪೂರ್ವ ಸಿದ್ಧತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತವಾಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಸ್ತುಗತ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂದರೆ, ವಸ್ತುಗತ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು, ಆ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯ ಅಂಶಗಳು. ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂದರೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಅಂಶಗಳು. ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದರ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನವನ್ನು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಂಶಗಳು, ಅವನ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನ ದೈಹಿಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಂಶದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವನು ವಾತ್ಸಲ್ಯ, ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಇದ್ದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸದ ಬಲ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನು ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರ್ತವೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಒಂದು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ, ಇದು ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಅವಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಐಚ್ಛಾ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಷ್ಟು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾನು ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆನ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ಮೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್, ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್, manipulated, manifested or discussed with you. I think you are understand this concept, involuntary attention concept, which is involuntary attention ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಐಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನವನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ತಾವು ಕೂತು ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಸೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಒನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಆಯಿತು, ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅದಾನೆ. Voluntary attention is the behavioral and cognitive process of selective concentrating on a discrete stimulus while ignoring other perceivable stimuli. Attention can be thought of as the allocation of limited processing resources. Your brain can only devote attention to a limited remember of stimulus. So already we have discussed about the involuntary attention. Now we are discussing the voluntary attention. So voluntary attention means that voluntary attention is that which is focused on things that in themselves do not have striking qualities. It is more or less an active process. In order to have a sustained voluntary attention, certain struggles have to be gone through. Ross also contributed. We also already discussed about it. So here the voluntary attention is that here attention is intentional, deliberate and purposeful most of our attending in our daily life is voluntary, because there is always a motive and purpose for attending to an object. Here distractions are sidelined and attention is sustained for a longer time. For example, watching a movie, listening to an interesting lectures, music, etc. These all are the attention which are belongs to voluntary type of attention. Voluntary attention is the type of attention that is goal directed and determined by the relevant task at hand. Involuntary capture of attention result when stimuli are selected due to silence rather than to relevance. Jones in 1981 he said like that. So, attention is that deliberately applied and controlled by the individual as opposed to attention that is spontaneously captured by stimulus in the environment, also called endogenous attention. Compare positive post voluntary attention. So, this is the attention which is voluntary attention. So, in Kannada, what we say voluntary attention means is that ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ. ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಇದು ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ದೇಶಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗೆ ಗಮನ ನೀಡುವುದನ್ನು ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಳಿತು ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳುವುದು, ನಾಯಕರ ಭಾಷಣ ಆಲಿಸುವುದು, ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕೇಳುವುದು, ಟಿ ವಿ ನೋಡುವುದು ಮುಂತಾದವುಗಳು. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಯ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಗನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು, ವಸ್ತುಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತವಾದಂಥ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಆ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರ್ತವೆ. ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯವುಳ್ಳವನಾಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾದರೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ಅಧಿವೇಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ. ಸೊ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಾವು ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ, ಅಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ, ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ, ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ involuntary attention. Now we are discussing about the habitual attention. So here habitual attention, so objective and outcomes of the habitual attention is to understand the meaning of habitual attention. We are discussing about the habitual attention. So attention which is, or we are attend to certain stimulus because we are habituated to attend to it. We are already habituated attend to it. Here the more than two stimulus, two stimulus we are attending. For example, the naturalist will hear sounds in the words that the ordinary picnicker would miss. A mother who is fast asleep is able to hear the faint cry of her body. So, this is the habitual attention. So, you know that attention is the behavioral and cognitive process of selectively concentrating on a discrete stimulus will be ignoring other perceivable stimulus. Attention can thought of as allocation of limited processing resources. Your brain can only devote attention to limited number of stimuli. So here following are the characteristics of the attention. Attention is selective, attention has shifting nature, attention has cognitive, affective and conative aspects, attention has narrow range, attention increase of clearness of the stimulus, attention needs motor adjustment. So here habitual attention in some situation reactions to a stimulus or attending to a stimulus becomes a habit. So the individual will automatically divert his attention towards that stimulus. For example, a musician attention will automatically be diverted at the music. So this is the habitual attention. We habited to attending the stimulus more than two stimulus. We are singing a song, also we are driving a vehicle. These all are the habitual attention. We are working at any work and attending the mobile phone, watching TV and attending another work. So these all are habited. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸದ ಅವಧಾನ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸವಾಗಿ ಆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಬಲದಿಂದ ಯಾಂತ್ರಿಕವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗಳ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಗಮನ ನೀಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸಗಳಿಂದ ಅವಾಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಯಾಂತ್ರಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರವರ್ತರಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಕಾರ್ಯಪ್ರವರ್ತತೆಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಯಾಂತ್ರಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅವಧಾನ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡೆ ನಮ್ಮದು ಅವಧಾನ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೂ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತವಾದಂಥ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರ್ತವೆ ಈ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳೇನಿರ್ತವೆ, ಅವನ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದೈಹಿಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಬಲ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪೂರ್ವ ಸಿದ್ಧತೆ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೀರುತ್ತವೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸವಾಗಿ ಆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಬಲದಿಂದ ಯಾಂತ್ರಿಕವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಚೋದನೆಗಳ ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಗಮನ ಏನು ಹರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಲ್ಲುಜ್ಜುವುದು, ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡುವುದು, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಧರಿಸುವುದು, ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು, ಬೂಟು ಅಥವಾ ಚಪ್ಪಲಿ ಧರಿಸುವುದು ಮುಂತಾದವು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಮಾಡುವುದರಿಂದ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ ಬೇರೇನೇನೂ ಯೋಚಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಯಾಂತ್ರಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವುಗಳ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಗಮನ ನೀಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರ್ತವೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ದೈಹಿಕ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದೈಹಿಕ ಬಲ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳು, ವಸ್ತುಗತ ಅಂಶ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗತ ಅಂಶಗಳ ಪ್ರಭಾವದಿಂದ ಈ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವನ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನ ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ವಾತ್ಸಲ್ಯ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಪ್ರಭಾವದಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಬಲದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸುವುದನ್ನು, ಇಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎದುರಿಗೆ types of attention. We are discussed about the types of attention, which are voluntary, involuntary, habitual attention. So what I have the knowledge, in my experience, the best of my knowledge, I lectured, manifest, divide, discussed with you on the basis of my experience, best of my knowledge. I think you are understood ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ, ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಯು, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಯು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ, ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ, ನಾನು ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡಂಥ ಅನುಭವದ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊತ, ಏನಿದು ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಚ್ಛಾವಧಾನ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅವಧಾನ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ 3 ಪ್ರಕಾರವಾದಂಥ ಅವಧಾನಗಳನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ನಾನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ತಾವು ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಸಾವಧಾನ ಚಿತ್ತರಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಈ ಅವಧಾನದ ಪ್ರಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಆಲಿಸಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ತಮಗೆ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ತಾವು ಕೂಡ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಧಾನದ ಪ್ರಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ, ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಧಾನದ ಪ್ರಕಾರದ ಅಧಿವೇಶನವನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಟು ಮೈ ಲವ್ಲಿ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.